a granite column that we first found in 1978. And if you look at the column behind me here, this part was laying down in the surf, and it had, shall we say, been eroded considerably by the surf. This is one of a matched pair of columns set up at the crossing site where the Habiru, led by Moses or Musa, crossed the sea. Now then, the other one is on the opposite shore. The inscription tells that it was set up by order of King Solomon, and it mentions that Pharaoh and his army were drowned by God in the waters here.
Now, as far as the crossing of the Red Sea, you just talked about that. What scientists think it's somewhere else. Scientists think it's on the little finger going up further west, well, not on the east one.
A lot of them don't believe it happened at all, you know.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's ridiculous. I think there's obvious it did happen. Red Sea crossing. There's a place, there's a beach. I've got lots of pictures, but I'm sorry, I can't find them. I got 50,000 slides here. So
NUWEIBA, I think, is the name of it.
Yeah, NUWEIBA or something like that.
NUWEIBA, yeah.
Yeah, Red Sea crossing site. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah. This pictures will really help. Why don't we find evidence? God told Moses to tell the people to go and camp by the sea. Okay? He said, take up your rod and hold it out over the water, and the children shall cross on dry ground. Okay? And the waters were a wall unto them. This is what the Bible says. Okay? Whether you believe it or not, a different story. But there was a wall unto them. And it says God took off their chariot wheels, and the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh. There remained not so much as one of them. Everybody chasing Moses died. And he turned the sea into dry land, it says in Psalm 66. So if you look at the country of Egypt down here, children of Israel were in captivity for 215 years. There's a little controversy about the exact numbers, but 430 is the time since. That's a long story. I cover that, the supposed contradiction. There's no contradiction. So if you look at the Red Sea there, it comes up and splits, and it's got two fingers to it. Mm-hmm. Okay, the Gulf of Aqaba and the Gulf of Suez, where the Suez Canal is. Well, Abraham comes right about here in history, a couple hundred years after Noah's flood. And we'll take this little piece of timeline to Jesus Christ on the cross. Most of our Old Testament takes place in that time frame in world history. Here is, some people say, they crossed the Red Sea because there's a swamp. It's shallow ground there, and the chariot wheels were chariots were too heavy, and they got buried. Well, the Bible says it was a wall unto them, and if it's just swampy ground, I mean, all of Pharaoh's army had to lay down and stick their face in the mud and make themselves drown? No, they crossed over here, the Gulf of Aqaba.
Right.
What happened when they went across the Sinai? I should not even call it the Sinai Peninsula, okay? But they went across this peninsula between the two fingers of the Red Sea, and they turned south. And Pharaoh's spies came back and said, Pharaoh, they are lost in the wilderness. They don't know where they're going. Well, duh, they'd been slaves for a long time. None of them, they didn't have GPS back then. They're following a cloud or a pillar of fire. God made them turn south on purpose. They should have gone, up north to the promised land, but no, they went the wrong way. The right way, actually, God told them. Mount Sinai is over here on this side in Arabia, like the Bible says it is. Well, there's this dry riverbed that goes right up to the Red Sea, right there. You can see this big beach out there. There's the beach. You can see it there in NUWEIBA, whatever you pronounce it. So the children of Israel were following a cloud. God led them right through this valley, right up to this beach, and now they are stuck. Pharaoh's army says, hey, we got them. They can't go north. They can't go south. They can't come back west. They can't go east. The Red Sea's in the way. Let's go kill them. Okay? They ended up stuck on this beach with nowhere to go. When they heard Pharaoh's army coming, they panicked. Oh, Moses, you idiot, you led us the wrong way, blah, blah, blah. All Moses could do is say, look, I'm trying to follow the Lord. And Christian leaders need to understand, there's going to be times when your people turn against you. You may make a dumb mistake, or you may actually make a dumb mistake. But if you constantly say, Lord, would you please guide me, Lord? I'm trying to follow this cloud. Show me which way to go. It may seem crazy at first, but God had a reason for this. So they're stuck on this beach over here. And some people, things go wrong. They get mad at God. I tried to follow you, Lord. This leader is leading me the wrong way. Okay, look at the mess we're in. We're all going to die. There's no way out, God. So they're stuck on this beach. At the south end of that beach, right down there, Ron Wyatt found a pillar. And let's talk about that in a minute. So the children of Israel came out of that valley right there, and they're stuck on this beach. Ron had some construction guys that happened to be working there. They dragged the pillar out. They cleaned it off, stood it up, put concrete around the base. There's a friend of mine standing on top of it. There's the pillar. They found one on the other side. And the pillars in what was left of the writing, it was kind of decayed, 3,000 years old, said, Solomon made it in Phoenician letters. And in Mizraim, Egypt, and they named some people on there. It said, this is the place where they crossed the Red Sea. Apparently Solomon set it up for a memorial. And across the Red Sea right there, how deep is that water? Well, there's the natural underwater land bridge, which you can Google map it. Look at that beach in NUWEIBA, and there's an underwater pathway. The Red Sea right there is about 5,000 feet deep, a mile deep. But right there between those two spots, it's only 900 feet deep. So
Almost like God knew what he was doing.
Almost, yeah, almost.
Yeah, almost.
They went in, getting the children of Israel going across, and the Pharaoh's army chased them. And the Bible says the waters were a wall unto them. Somebody asked me the other day, if you could get to heaven and ask Moses a question, what would it be? I would ask him, Moses, did any fish fall out of the water? That's the only time in history a fish could fall out. Yeah. Anyway, I taught high schoolers 15 years, brother. It kind of messed up my brain a little bit. So there at the bottom of the Red Sea, they found human bones. They found chariot wheels. It's all down there still. Okay. Coral encrusted chariot wheels. The Pharaoh that chased Moses out is the only Egyptian army that used all three types of wheels: 4-spoke, 6-spoke, and 8-spoke. All of them are found at the bottom down there. On the other side, when you get over there to Saudi Arabia, they find Jabal al-Laws. Guess what? That means mountain of laws. And the Bible says Mount Sinai is in Arabia. Mary Nell gave us a piece of the rock from the top. It's still burned. It was a fire up there. The rock is still burned. So yeah, it was just amazing. And that's another story, Smite the Rock. Okay. So yes, I do believe Ron found a lot of things. I think the people who are criticizing him are just simply jealous because they didn't find it.
Yeah.